All right, welcome to Chair Yoga, and in today's class I'd like you to have a couple of blocks if you have them handy. A strap perhaps, some kind of stretch strap. A bolster is always good for the end of class, for resting. And one thing we don't normally use, but if you've got a small ball handy, like a tennis ball or a softball or something, or even something you could just throw up in the air and catch a little bit. It doesn't have to be a ball, but a ball is usually the best thing. So that's a bit of a surprise prop thrown in. And we've got our trusty chair. And make our way to the edge of the chair, feet grounded underneath the knees. So by that I simply mean the knees are not splayed out or dropped in. The knees are perpendicular to the ankles. And a couple of requests we've had this week is to do with breathing and the sinuses. When we get our nostrils blocked or occluded from hay fever or a cold, sometimes it makes it very challenging to function normally. So if you're dealing with occluded sinuses, nostrils, etc., just be very gentle and delicate. And we'll start with a little bit of hand rubbing. If you interlace the fingers and rub the heel palms, the heels of your palms, strongly together, back and forth, you'll generate some heat. And then we'll gently place that over the eyelids, onto the cheeks, onto the cheekbones, and just start to soothe out the face a little bit at the beginning of today's class. And as you do that, as you start to relax, allow the breathing to slow down. And then gently take the fingertips together across the forehead, meeting in the middle of the forehead, and stroke them gently away from the center of the forehead and down the sides of the cheeks, all the way down to the throat, to the collarbones, and repeat. So simply moving any caught fluids in the forehead, the sides of the temples, sides of the cheeks, down over the jaw, down the throat. Just massaging gently the sinus cavity areas. Stroking firmly but not in pain. And then begin the same action underneath the eyes on the bridge of the nose. Slide down the bridge of the nose, under the eyelids, across the cheekbones and down through the center of the throat, down to the collarbones, and repeat. And then the same action, this time underneath the nostrils, right on the mustache area, stroke out, down around the outside of the teeth and down once again to the collarbones. And the last one, starting underneath the chin, out and down, coming a little wider into the sides of the throat on this one. So slide it all the way out to the jawbone, under the ears and down the side of the throat. And then flick the hands out. And we'll do a rather strong breath today, a little breathing practice you may not know about called Kapalabhati. It means skull polishing. And it's a good way to help clear the sinuses when things are upset. Again, if it hurts too much, just breathe gently. But I want you to imagine a little insect has traveled up your nose and you notice it there, and you close the mouth and you forcibly eject through the nostrils a little sharp. And as you do that, if you put your hand on your belly, you'll feel your belly pull in sharply. So there's a very strong abdominal component to this execution of nostril expulsion. Because we've got a whole lot of insects flying up, every time you relax, the breath will infill itself, so you don't have to breathe in. It will happen normally. But then there's another insect, so you'll squirt it out again. Strong abdominal pullback. If you have any abdominal injuries, you will not want to do this. And then we start to become like a steam train. We start slowly doing about 10. And then pick up speed, do another 10. And then relax and take an inhale, about half a breath full, not too much, and hold the breath. And as you hold the breath, lift the arms up above the head and reach up, interlace the fingers, reaching up as high as you can, holding the breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, gently release. Exhale through pursed lips, slowly, slowly. And notice how that Kapalabhati breathing, that skull polishing breathing, activates the nervous system. Notice if you're breathing, you may need a tissue or something if you have any projectiles that came out. Because we're going to do another 2 rounds to 10 slower breaths followed by 10 faster breaths, and then we'll do our breath retention. And let's begin. And faster. And 10. Then inhale, half a breath in. Hold the breath, raise the arms up and reach up. Reach right up. For 5, 4, 3, 2, Exhale, gently release through pursed lips, floating the hands down, all on that exhale. And if you need a tissue just to clear your nose. All right, last round. 10 slow, 10 faster, breath retention, and begin. Faster. And then inhale slowly, half a breath in, hold the breath, raising the arms. 5, 4, reach, 3, 2, exhale through pursed lips, slow-mo down. And just notice how you feel after that breath work and sinus clearing. As you grab the knees, let's start to do some torso twirls here. Releasing the low back, bringing some movement into the spine. Let's try and keep the elbows, shoulders, neck and head nice and loose. We want to warm up the spine, the hips, the shoulders, the neck. Really let it go like you're made of rubber. Letting the circles get as big as you can comfortably. You could do it with your eyes closed if you don't feel dizzy. And the next time you come upright, let's pause and go back the other way. And then slowly come up. Once again, adjusting your seat, reaching that left hand, just tapping the back, like you're trying to scratch between the shoulder blades. Right hand comes in front of the body and touches your left armpit. And then we're going to swing both arms to the opposite side so that right arm comes to the spine, left arm comes in front. Keep the head upright, and we'll start to increase the speed of switching sides, coordinating one arm in front, one arm behind, working the shoulders, working the elbows, but also working the brain a little bit here as you now we're going to add a little complexity to this. Let's see if I can work it out. I haven't done it before. So when that hand comes behind the back, instead of hitting the back, I want you to tap the top of your head. So you're changing the position of the contact point to the top of the head. A little proprioception here. Where's your head in space? Now let's go to the back. Back, 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 head, 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 back, 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 back. Last round of head. Now we're going to try another position here. So this time, instead of the front arm touching your armpit, it's going to tap your ear. So your right hand is tapping your left ear. So you're going to do head to ear. See, I got it wrong straight away. Head to ear. Yeah. Good, some of you got this down. So if you're half as confused as me, you're probably missing half the time. That's okay. It's all a learning experience. We're just trying to get our body used to knowing where it is in space. Proprioception. And release. So that's a big workout for the shoulders. Just shake out the arms. And then we'll do some hip swivels open. So opening that left hip out to the left. Back to center. Right hip out to the right. So we're switching from hip to hip. Just by moving the leg out to the side. Add some resistance here. So as that right leg pushes out, push your right hand against it. And as it closes, push your right hand against the inner thigh. So you're making your core, your legs, your arms, even your chest, all these muscles are being activated by resisting and going against one limb against the other limb. And the next time you come to neutral pause, walk the feet out a little wider, heel toe the feet out so the toes point out this time. Come forward into your classic thinker's pose, elbows resting on thighs. And we'll just do some head drops and lifts here. So you drop the chin, you look down at the floor, back behind the chair. Then you lift the chin up and you try to look up through your eyebrows to the ceiling. Just working the neck gently. Bring the head to neutral and turn the head left and right so we get a different plane of motion in the neck. Just giving some gentle wakening up to the neck. Now, if you've got blocked sinuses or a head cold, you probably don't want to go where we're going in the next one. You might want to stay here at this level just to help release the back. If you stay here, try to do some cat and cow. Let's all do some cat and cow together in this shape. So as you exhale, tuck your tailbone and draw your navel in, hollow out the belly so you feel a stretch in the low back. Then as you inhale, relax the buttocks and push your chest forward. Maybe lift the head a little bit. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, hollow out the belly, shoulder blades apart. The head can come down a bit here. Inhale, relax, arch the low back, chest comes out, chin lifts up. So this is what I'm going to recommend if you've got a head cold or something's going on with your sinuses. Otherwise, you can grab a block and bring your hands down to the block. So your head's still above the heart, but from here we're going to do push-ups. Bending the elbows, bring the head down towards the block, and then straighten the arms. Exhale, come down, bend elbows, straighten the arms. So continue with these push-ups, feeling the low back traction out. And if you're okay, the next time you come down, just hang and dangle. Maybe even fold your arms, hold your arms and look back under your chair. Really let the head and neck go here. For 3, 2, bring the hands to the block, straighten the arms, bring the hands to the elbows. Resume some more cat and cow breathing, tucking the tailbone, lifting the tailbone, just working the spine with the breath. Add the neck, head looks down, head looks up. And then slowly move the block and walk the hands back up the thighs and just rub the low back a little bit. So we're going to do some more proprioception work with blocks this time. So have your blocks on the low settings and have your feet hip width distance apart. Now, hip width distance apart isn't a lot. If you touch your hip bones and draw a straight line to the knees, the ankles should be straight down. So you can see, for me, it's like a fist distance, a fist between my feet. That's all. It's not a lot. I'm going to step over the block. Firstly with the left foot, then the right foot. So you're sitting sideways, side saddle. And then we step back to the center and then to the right. And those blocks are hot lava, so you don't want to touch them. We step treading over them without touching them. You can do it with eyes looking down, or you can start to look straight out and just get a sense of where your feet are in space. Now I'm assuming you're doing that okay. Oop, I touched the block. Pride comes before a fall. Now the next time you come to center, let's raise the blocks up one level. So now they're on their edge. So you're going to have to step a little higher as you come over. And again, you don't want to touch the block. And if you're finding that simple, guess what? You're going to take the blocks right onto their taller setting and step right over the taller setting. So you're working your hip flexors, but you're also working your coordination and proprioception here. You can add speed if you want to. Make it a little dance. And come back to center. And this time, in front of the left foot, put your blocks, bring your left foot back closer to the chair, and the second block is going to be 1 foot. So one block's right back near the edge of the chair. The other block is just a little further towards the top of the mat, but it's only a little more than your foot, so your foot can sit in between the 2 blocks. So I've got 2 blocks running up the mat away from the chair with my foot in between with just a tad of space. Work your sit bones towards the edge of the chair and hold the edge of the chair. We're going to do some strength work here. While we do it, take the weight into your hands so your arms are taking your weight, and step that foot over that furthest block away. Then step it back. You can sit back on your chair as you come back if you like, and then try to just go tippy toes behind the other block. So your tippy toes are very close to the chair. Then we go back to the center without touching the blocks. Take the weight as you reach out over that other block. Lift, come back to the center. You can sit if you like, or you can hold yourself up with your arms, and then tippy toe back to the block closest to you. So it's 1 step to the middle, 1 step out wide with your weight in your arms, back to center, back to tippy toe as you really bend that left knee, or whichever leg you're working on. And away we go. You can pick up the speed. 1. Try not to touch the blocks, so you're really working on good control here through space. Plus you're getting a strong arm workout, shoulder workout, core workout. Let's do 1 more. And release. Shaking out the wrists. Massage the wrists if you need to. Another nice one is interlace the fingers, bring the elbows together, and roll the wrists in a circle. And then back the other way. Let's just do a little bit of network before we go to the other side. Bring that left hand behind the back and grab the left wrist with your right hand. So your right elbow sticks out to the side like a chicken wing. Drive your sit bones down into your chair so you sit up tall, and allow that right ear to come down towards the side. Right side towards the chicken wing. And from here we're going to nod our head with that sideways slant. So your chin will come to your chest, you look down towards your knee. Chin will lift up, you look up towards the ceiling. Bring the head to neutral, slowly come up. And we'll change arms. Right arm behind the back, left arm grabs that right wrist, chicken wing on that left side. Drive down through the sit bones so you're engaging your abdominals here, you're sitting up tall. And that left ear comes towards the left shoulder. And we'll try our head nods on this side. Oh yeah. Neck can get very tight. All right. Inhale, neutral, release gently. Set your blocks up on the other foot. So your right, well, that's my right foot. I don't know what yours is. Right foot between the blocks. One. So if I bring my right foot back, I can just touch tippy toes between the chair and the block. Back to center. And then to reach out past the other block, I have to take the weight into my arms again to tap down. So I'm actually off my chair, holding myself up, propping myself up with my arms, getting strong triceps here. And then back to center, back to tippy toes. So you're just getting used to controlling where you put your foot. Try to avoid touching the blocks if you can. That's going to just take more concentration and more strength, more coordination. Rest whenever you need to. This works the core. It works the arms. It's working that other leg because it's taking the weight. Plus it's working all those muscles that work the knee joint, the hip, the ankle. So I've got burn marks from the blocks. I'm burning myself all the time. Challenging to do. Next time, come to pause. Ooh, and release. Should be feeling warm here. And we'll move those blocks to one side. And we'll work a little bit on balance, shall we? So come right to the edge of the chair. Feet are underneath you. As you lean forward, lift the heels of the feet. Come onto the balls of the feet. So you're leaning forward, heels are lifted, ball of the feet, and then slowly sit back. And as you sit back, lean back a little bit and lift the toes. So you're working that ankle joint. Lean forward, weight into the legs. Really lean forward now. Lift those heels. Exhale. Come back. Lean back. Lift those toes. So that's going to give you a good sense of where the feet need to be for when we stand. Back and forth. Keep checking your feet. Notice the angle of your feet. Sometimes people feel a little more comfortable if the toes point outwards a little bit. But if the toes point out, you need your knee to track in the same direction. You don't want your knee going in the opposite direction. Now the next time you come forward, you're not going to lift the heels. You're just going to stay forward and lift your butt off the chair an inch or two and then come back to the chair and sit up. So you're working the legs. If you can't lift up, just stay forward with the weight into the legs. And I want you to avoid popping yourself up. I don't want you to use momentum. I want you to build strength. So strength is going to help bone density. It's also important for balance. So there's a tendency to flip up here. Let's really use our strength here. So the further you lean forward, the more your butt's going to naturally rise up from the center of gravity, shifting over to the feet. The next time we come forward, we're going to stand all the way up slowly for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on to the right side of your chair. And using the chair, the back of the chair for balance as a reference point, feet are hip width distance apart, leaning into the leg closest to the chair, lift the left knee up, point the toes down, and switch legs. High knee lift, toes pointed down, taking 3 or 4 breaths while you're up there to feel your balance. And I want you, as you do this, to rely less and less on the chair. You might even raise your hand off the chair or put it on your hip, but you've got your chair there as a reference point. Now the next time you lift the knee closest to the chair, pivot that hip open and rest your foot on the chair. So you've got the open hip into your chair tree pose. Strong standing leg. You can lift your arms up into any shape you like, reaching up or out. You can do your little back tap. You can do eagle arms. Just any shape. You can move them, you can hold them still, you can hold them on the hips, you can stay with the chair. And for those who'd like to go into full-blown tree pose, you can slide that foot back towards your thigh or down to your calf muscle. Avoid pushing against your knee joint. And once again, you've got the chair as your reference with that left hand. You can play with balance. And with balance, it's always good to fix your eyes on a still point somewhere in front of you and relax your breathing. But keep your legs strong. So there's this strong engagement in the right, the standing leg. And then hand to chair, foot to the ground. Shake out that standing leg if you need to, and we'll switch sides. So once again, high knee lifts, holding, playing with your balance. Breathing slowly. So there's a relaxation in the upper body while the lower body works hard. And you can keep your leg up as long as you like in these high knee lifts. And the good thing about the balance is we create balance. I know there's a phrase, we find our balance, but really we're creating it. We're making it happen. through focused concentration, strength, core stability, relaxed breathing. So we're bringing together a lot of the different parts of the body, and even if we sway, we regain balance, we can use the chair as a prop. The next time that inner leg comes up, you can rest the foot on the chair. You can, once again, move your arms in any direction you want. And if you want to play with that foot, you can bring it against the standing leg, above or below the knee joint. And once again, you can play with your balance in tree pose on this side. Don't forget to fix your eyes on a still point. And when you're ready, gently release. Come back to your chair. And I know I asked you to grab a ball, but kind of running out of time here, so we won't be using the ball this week, but maybe another time. Let's just notice how we feel. And maybe come into a little relaxed seated shavasana or lying shavasana. If you've got back issues, you might want to come onto the floor with the legs up. Otherwise, you can bring the feet onto your blocks and lean into the back of the chair or a bolster. Resting your hands on your lap. Create a gentle smile. And if your sinuses are still blocked, you might want to do some more lymphatic massage as you quieten the face down, the eyes. Until you come back to stillness. And take a slow, gentle breath in, filling the lungs. Exhale through pursed lips. And two more just like that. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.